Hello, dear children. Welcome back. I am Dr. Jisha Jo. In this session, we shall discuss about the location and function of the pancreas. Now, let us first have a look at the location of the pancreas. Where is the pancreas located? Pancreas is located behind the stomach. Okay, it is behind the stomach in the abdomen. So pancreas, location of pancreas, it is located behind the stomach in the abdomen. Okay, now pancreas, if you look at the pancreas, pancreas is both a duct gland as well as a ductless gland. Both a duct gland as well as a ductless gland. In the last video we have discussed about what a duct gland and a ductless gland, both these are. Duct glands are exocrine glands, glands having ducts, whereas ductless glands are endocrine glands. So here pancreas acts both as a duct gland as well as a ductless gland. That means it is both an exocrine as well as an endocrine gland. Such a gland is otherwise called as a heterocrine gland. Heterocrine gland. So pancreas is a heterocrine gland, or it is otherwise called as a mixed gland. Okay, can be asked for give reason. Pancreas is both a duct gland as well as a ductless gland, or pancreas is referred to as a mixed gland. Pancreas is a heterocrine gland. Give reason. Okay, what is the answer? So as a duct gland, pancreas secretes the pancreatic juice. In the 9th standard we have studied about the digestive system, where we have seen that the pancreatic juice is secreted by the pancreas, and this juice is poured into the duodenum of the small intestine through the common bile duct, isn't it? So the pancreas pours the pancreatic juice through the pancreatic duct into the common bile duct, which in turn pours it into the duodenum of the small intestine. So here pancreas acts as a duct gland. Okay, so it is otherwise an exocrine gland here. How does pancreas act as an exocrine gland or as a duct gland? Pancreas pour its secretions, that is the pancreatic juice is poured into the duodenum part of the small intestine. In such a way, pancreas acts as a duct gland. Now, as a ductless gland or as an endocrine gland, pancreas has a special group of cells which is referred to as the islets of Langerhans. Islets of Langerhans is a group of specialized cells, or a special group of cells inside the pancreas, and this special group of cells is formed of 3 different types of cells. They are the alpha cells, the beta cells, and the delta cells. So 3 different groups or types of cells are present in this special group of cell, that is the islets of Langerhans, the alpha, beta, and the delta. Okay, and the alpha cells are responsible for the secretion of a type of a hormone which is called as the glucagon. Glucagon hormone is secreted by the alpha cells of the islets of Langerhans. Beta cells of the islets of Langerhans are responsible for the secretion of a hormone called insulin. And the delta cells are responsible for the secretion of somatostatin. somatostatin. So these are the three different hormones that are secreted by the pancreas. So how does pancreas act as a duct gland as well as a ductless gland? As a duct gland, pancreas pour its secretion, that is the pancreatic juice, into the duodenum part of the small intestine, and as a ductless gland or as an endocrine gland, pancreas has a group of or a special group of cells inside which is called as the islets of Langerhans. And this group of cells have three different types of cells: the alpha cells, beta cells, and the delta cells. Alpha cells are responsible for the secretion of the hormone glucagon. Beta cells secrete insulin, and the delta cells secrete somatostatin. So in our syllabus, we have to study the functions of glucagon and insulin. Now we have seen that the hormone insulin is secreted by the beta cells of the islets of Langerhans. And it is this insulin hormone that checks the rise in sugar level in the blood. Okay, the rise of sugar level in the blood is checked by the hormone insulin, which is secreted by the beta cells of the islets of Langerhans of the pancreas. Now, how does this insulin check the rise in sugar level in the blood? So, function of insulin. Okay, function, we know insulin is secreted by the beta cells. The beta cells of the islets of Langerhans secrete insulin, and the function of the insulin is to check the rise of sugar level in blood. Okay, that is the function of insulin. It helps to check the rise of sugar level in blood, and this is done in two ways. Okay, the first way is, number one, promotes glucose utilization. Promotes glucose utilization by the cells of the body. That is, if there is excess glucose in the blood, insulin promotes the utilization of glucose by the body cells, thereby reducing or bringing the sugar level down. Okay, if the sugar level goes beyond the normal, what happens? It is the insulin that promotes the utilization of glucose by the cells of our body. So what happens? The level of glucose in the blood will come down. Okay, so that is the first way in which insulin checks the rise of sugar level in the blood. Now the second way is, it stimulates the deposition of excess glucose. Stimulates the deposition of excess glucose as glycogen in liver. Okay, so even after the body cells utilize glucose, even after that, if there is an excess level of glucose in the blood, what does insulin do? Insulin stimulates the deposition of excess glucose. The excess glucose in the blood will be converted into glycogen and will be stored in the liver. It stimulates the conversion of this excess glucose into glycogen and will be stored in the liver. Okay, so I hope that is clear. So insulin is secreted by the beta cells of the islets of Langerhans, and the function of insulin is to check the rise of sugar level in the blood. How does insulin check the rise of sugar level in the blood? This is done in two ways. The first way is, it promotes glucose utilization by the body cells. And second way is, it stimulates the deposition of excess glucose as glycogen in the liver. So these are the two ways in which insulin helps to check the rise of sugar level in the blood. So location and function of insulin, if asked, what will you write for location? Insulin is secreted by the beta cells of the islets of Langerhans of the pancreas, and function of insulin is to check the rise of sugar level in the blood, which is done in two ways. Number one is promotes the utilization of glucose, and second is it stimulates the conversion or of excess glucose into glycogen in the liver. Now let us see what happens if insulin is not secreted in sufficient amounts. If not secreted in sufficient amounts means hyposecretion of insulin. What happens when hyposecretion of insulin takes place? Okay, hyposecretion means secretion that is sufficient amount of insulin is not secreted, or there is a deficiency in the amount of insulin. So what happens when a hyposecretion of insulin takes place? So we know insulin is needed to check the rise of sugar level in the blood. So if insulin is not secreted in sufficient amount, what will happen? Naturally, the glucose level will go up. The glucose level in the blood will go up, or there will be a rise in sugar level in the blood. This condition is called as hyperglycemia. Hyperglycemia, or it is otherwise called as diabetes mellitus. Okay, hyperglycemia, or it is otherwise called as diabetes mellitus. So an insufficient secretion of insulin or hyposecretion of insulin results in a condition called hyperglycemia. Hyperglycemia means it refers to a high sugar level in the blood. This condition is otherwise called as diabetes mellitus. Now, a person having diabetes mellitus, some of the characteristics of such a person is, number one, that is the sugar level in the blood will be high. Glucose level in the blood will be high. That is the first characteristic feature of a person having diabetes mellitus. Okay, high concentration of sugar in the blood. Number two, such a person will always feel thirsty. Because there is frequent urination there, so always he feels thirsty. Okay, and this urine has an excess of glucose in it. Okay, there is frequent urination, and this urine will have excess amount of glucose in it, and as a result of frequent urination, this person often feels thirsty. Okay, and another feature is that there will be loss in weight loss in such a person, and if not treated properly, then an increase in glucose level or hyperglycemia might result in the complete loss of eyesight even. Okay, so that is with regard to diabetes mellitus. So, person having diabetes mellitus, what are the characteristic features? Such a person will have high concentration of glucose in his blood. He will show frequent urination, and this urine will have excess glucose or sugar in it. Number three, because of frequent urination, he feels thirsty. And number four, such a person will have a weight loss, and if not treated properly, in certain cases, if an increase in sugar level occurs in the blood, this might cause the loss of eyesight even. Now, how is this condition treated? The usual way of treatment is to administer insulin, or to give injections of insulin. Okay, insulin injections are taken. What is actually done here is the body cannot prepare or cannot synthesize insulin on its own, so we are providing insulin from outside. So actually administering insulin to lower the glucose level in the blood is not a cure to this condition. Okay, it is not a cure to this condition. The usual treatment method is to inject insulin. such a person having diabetes mellitus will take insulin injections. So in such a case, insulin is provided from outside, as since the body cannot synthesize insulin. Okay, so when insulin is provided from outside, well, the same thing what happens normally, that is, it helps to check the sugar level in the blood. Okay, now we know that insulin is given as injections. Why is it that insulin is not given as oral pills? Do you know the reason? Insulin is not given as oral pills, but insulin is given as injections to a person having diabetes. What is the reason for that? Okay, why is it? We know insulin is a protein. Okay, insulin is a protein. So, what happens when insulin is taken as an oral pill? It will get digested by the protein digesting enzymes in the stomach and the intestine. So, will it be able to perform its function? No. So that is the reason why insulin is directly injected into the blood. Insulin is not taken as oral pills, but insulin injections are taken. This is because insulin is a protein, and if it is taken as oral pills, insulin will be digested by the protein digesting enzymes in the stomach and the intestine, and it will not be able to perform its function of checking the rise of sugar level in the blood. Okay, so that is with regard to hyperglycemia or diabetes mellitus. So remember, hyperglycemia is a rise in sugar level in the blood. This condition is also called as diabetes mellitus. This is due to hyposecretion of insulin. Hyposecretion means insufficient secretion of insulin. Now let us see what happens when insulin is secreted in excess, over secretion of insulin or hypersecretion of insulin. So naturally, what will happen? Just think, when insulin is secreted in excess, what will happen? The blood glucose level will come down very fast. Okay, the glucose level in the blood will decrease very fast, and sometimes the person may become unconscious or even may enter into a coma stage. Okay, this condition, when the glucose level in the blood decreases below the normal level, is called as hypoglycemia, or it is otherwise called insulin shock. So hypoglycemia means there is a decrease in the sugar level in the blood. This is due to hypersecretion of insulin. Okay, so when there is a sudden decrease in the sugar level in the blood, normally the person may become unconscious or sometimes may even enter into a coma state. Okay, and this condition is called insulin shock. Now children, now I hope you have understood the difference between hyperglycemia and hypoglycemia. Hyperglycemia is an increase in sugar level in the blood. This is due to hyposecretion of insulin, and hypoglycemia is a decrease in the sugar level in the blood. This is due to hypersecretion of insulin. Now let us have a look at the second hormone that is secreted by the pancreas, that is glucagon. We have already seen that glucagon is secreted by the alpha cells of the pancreas. Okay, glucagon is secreted by the alpha cells. So alpha cells of the islets of Langerhans of the pancreas secrete glucagon. Now what is the function of glucagon? Glucagon stimulates the breakdown of glycogen that is stored in the liver to glucose, thereby bringing about a rise in the sugar level in the blood. So what does glucagon do? Stimulates the breakdown of Glycogen. We know glycogen is stored in the liver. Glucose is converted into glycogen and stored in the liver when there is excess glucose in the blood. So what happens when there is a decrease in glucose level in the blood? Naturally, the cells of the islets of Langerhans, that is the alpha cells of the islets of Langerhans, are stimulated, and glucagon hormone will be released, which stimulates the breakdown of glycogen to glucose. Okay, don't get confused between glycogen and glucagon. Glucagon is a hormone that is secreted by the alpha cells of the islets of Langerhans, and glycogen is the storage form of glucose in animals. Okay, glucose is stored as glycogen in the liver. Okay, it is a storage form of carbohydrate in animals. So please don't get confused with the two terms glycogen and glucagon. So dear children, I hope this session on the location and function of pancreas is clear to you. If you have any doubts, please ask your doubts and also give your suggestions in the comment section. Thank you.